A young boy's life hangs by a thread. In the hospital, doctors fight to save him as his condition suddenly worsens. Outside, his wealthy family waits, but the news is grim. The doctor delivers a devastating blow. The boy needs an immediate bone marrow transplant, but there are no suitable donors. In a shocking twist, the boy's ruthless grandmother, Eleanor, points to his little sister, Lily, and orders the doctor to use her. She says they're siblings and Lily's marrow will surely match. She says she doesn't care if Lily lives or dies. As long as her grandson, Ethan, is saved, she says they could drain every last drop of Lily's marrow. She even threatens the doctor, promising him promotions if he succeeds and ruin if he fails. Despite Isabella's desperate pleas, the terrified little Lily is torn from her mother's arms and taken away. As the surgery room doors close, her heartbreaking cries echo through the hall. An agonizing wait ends when the doctor emerges. The surgery is a success, and Ethan is safe. The doctor sorrowfully announces that the little girl could not be saved. She says dead is dead, and orders her butler to throw Lily in the river. To make sure the girl's spirit can't come back to haunt them, she gives one final, cruel order: gouge out her eyes. Just then, Ethan's real mother, Isabella, arrives, frantically asking where her daughter Island. In a heartbreaking reveal, she learns the truth. Her daughter, her own flesh and blood, was sacrificed. Eleanor sneers, saying Lily was born for the sole purpose of being a living organ bank for her grandson. Consumed by grief, Isabella runs out, vowing the family will pay. That night, she frantically searches by the river and finds a child's body. But it's not her daughter. In a twist of fate, a woman had just dumped her own dead child there. Isabella, finding Lily still breathing, rushes her to the hospital. 16 years later, Lily has been raised by Maria, the scavenger who found her, living in poverty and hardship, and bullied as the blind trash girl. Meanwhile, the girl who took her place, Chloe, lives a life of luxury. But fate is about to bring them all back together. The wealthy son, Ethan, now a powerful CEO, crosses paths with the poor girl he thinks is a stranger. He cruelly bullies her while his adopted sister Chloe looks on with a smug smile. Little do they know, Isabella is about to unleash her long-awaited revenge, and the secrets of that dark day are about to come out. This family's cruelty knows no bounds. The wealthy CEO, Ethan, demands an impossible $1 million from Maria and Lily, giving them a chilling ultimatum. He says they have 3 days to pay up, or Lily will spend the rest of her life in prison. As Ethan grabs Lily by the throat, her adoptive mother's desperate cries fall on deaf ears. Back in their small, dilapidated room, Lily's heart aches as she looks at her mother's hands, raw and injured from a wound she gave herself to protect Lily. Maria, trying to offer some comfort, presents a small box, a birthday gift. Inside is a locket with a baby picture, a clue to a past Lily never knew. Maria tearfully tells the story of the day she found Lily, abandoned by the river with her eyes cruelly gouged out. She says the locket is the only link to Lily's real parents and urges her to go to the river where she was found, hoping for a miracle. Lily, heartbroken, refuses to leave the only mother she has ever known. Meanwhile, in a lavish mansion, Lily's biological mother, Isabella, grieves over a photo of her lost daughter, unaware that the girl living with her, Chloe, is an imposter. Ethan, filled with guilt, vows to find his real sister and make amends for the sacrifice she made for him. Consumed by a flicker of memory, Isabella insists they go to the river, the last place she remembers seeing her child. Isabella, seeing a girl who looks hauntingly familiar, calls out her daughter's name. The blind girl turns, her face a mix of confusion and hope. At a lavish pool party, blind Lily and her scavenger mother, Maria, are brought before wealthy CEO Ethan and his cruel friends. Their crime is owing an impossible debt of $1 million. Ethan, cold and arrogant, dismisses their meager savings and throws the cash in the air while his friends laugh and scramble. Maria and Lily are forced to crawl on the ground, humiliated, picking up every last bill. But their torment is far from over. Bored and looking for entertainment, Ethan suggests a twisted game. He holds up a sharp dart and proposes a game of human target practice to settle the debt. His friends, eager for a spectacle, cheer him on. One by one, they take turns throwing darts, narrowly missing the terrified mother and daughter as the crowd erupts in laughter. Then, Ethan's cruel sister, Chloe, steps up. She aims directly at the blind girl but misses, hitting the mother in the arm instead. The pain is excruciating, but Maria's only concern is her daughter. She volunteers to be the target, blindfolded, believing this will finally end their nightmare. The girl, thinking her mother is in danger, rushes forward. Maria was forced to humiliate herself for the amusement of a spoiled rich kid, Ethan, and his friends. This happened because she accidentally broke something and now owed him $1 million she couldn't possibly pay. He told her that if she entertained them, he might forget the debt. Then he cruelly grabbed the money they had earned and threw it into the swimming pool. He ordered them to pick up every single bill from the bottom of the pool, and only then would he let them go. She offered to go instead, but he grabbed her by the throat. As the bullies laughed and jeered, Lily heard her mother being choked, screamed that she'd do it, and leapt blindly into the water. While the blind girl frantically struggled in the water, the rich kid's friend started throwing fruit and tennis balls at her, laughing hysterically as she flinched and cried. The rich kid calmly waded into the pool, grabbed her by the chin, and poured a glass of wine over her head. He said a lowlife like her would never get to use a VIP pool like this again, so he was letting her drink her fill. He dunked her head under water, holding her down as her mother screamed in horror. Just as he pulled her up, gasping for air, someone shouted for him to stop. A powerful, elegantly dressed woman had arrived. He immediately stopped, looking stunned. She walked over, took off her jacket, and gently wrapped it around the shivering, terrified girl. Everyone's shocked faces made it clear this woman was someone important. She turned to him, ice in her eyes. She asked him how she had taught him to treat a girl. He stammered that he was just scaring her, but it was too late. The blind girl, hearing the woman's voice, started reciting the digits of pi, a habit her mother said she'd had since she was little whenever she got scared. Isabella Frozzi. She recognized the habit. She recognized the girl. This was not just any girl, this was her long-lost daughter. She asked a strange question about whether the woman who raised her was her real mother. The girl, clearly hiding something, said she didn't know and that she'd been blind since she was a child. Just then, the doctor arrived with terrible news. While Maria would recover from her injuries, the tests revealed something much worse: stomach cancer. Her only hope was surgery that cost $200,000 money they could never afford. Devastated but determined, Lily promised the doctor she'd find a way. Seeing her desperation, Isabella offered to help, but Lily proudly refused. Instead, she asked for a job and revealed a hidden talent. She was an award-winning violinist. Isabella was stunned. Her own long-lost daughter was also a violin prodigy. With a flicker of hope, Isabella handed Lily a business card for the family's violin company and told her to come in for an interview. For the first time, Lily believed her luck might finally be changing. But when she arrived for the job, her hope was instantly crushed. She came face to face with the very girl who had tormented her at the pool, the spoiled adopted daughter, Chloe. Chloe sneered, asking, "What is this trash doing here?" She immediately accused the blind girl of lying, claiming a blind person could never play the violin and that her award certificate was a cheap fake. Chloe declared this was her family's company and that no one would ever hire a blind beggar. Her friends suggested keeping Lily around for their amusement, and Chloe agreed, but with a cruel twist. She offered Lily a job not as a teacher, but as a cleaner. She taunted, "Like mother, like daughter." For her mother's sake, she agreed. But the humiliation didn't stop there. Chloe smashed a violin on the floor and ordered Lily to clean up the mess. Her friends joined in, deliberately spilling water and throwing trash, laughing as Lily struggled to clean up after them. Pushed to the brink, Lily finally snapped. She picked up the violin and, in an act of pure defiance, began to play a breathtaking melody that stunned her tormentors into absolute silence. Framed for a mistake she did not make, Lily was forced to her knees. This happened because Chloe wanted her gone, and the only way Lily could keep the job to pay for her mother's cancer treatment was to beg for forgiveness. She swallowed her pride and apologized, all to save her mother's life. As the manager docked her pay, Lily, with nothing left to lose, picked up a discarded violin. Then something incredible happened. She began to play not just well, but with the skill of a true prodigy. The music is so beautiful, full of pain and passion that it stops everyone in their tracks. As the melody fills the room, Ethan walks in and freezes, his eyes wide with shock. He recognizes the music. It's a song his long-lost little sister wrote years ago, a song he thought he'd never hear again. He knows this blind girl is more than she seems. Later, the cruel sister finds the blind girl and offers her a deal she can't refuse. She needs someone to play the violin at her mother's birthday party to impress everyone, but she can't play a single note. She offers the girl a huge sum of money to hide behind a curtain and play, letting her take all the credit. Desperate for the money for her mother's surgery, the blind girl reluctantly agrees. At the lavish birthday party, Chloe takes the stage and pretends to play while Lily performs flawlessly from behind the curtain. The music is the same haunting melody from before. The family is moved to tears and praises Chloe's incredible talent. Isabella calls it a gift from heaven, a sign that the musical talent runs in the family. But the brother's suspicion turns to certainty. When the performance ends, the family is stunned to discover the truth. Chloe panics and lies, saying the blind girl is just a cleaner who snuck in. She threatens Lily to keep quiet, or she'll owe Chloe $100,000. Terrified, Lily takes the blame and says she snuck in on her own. The family is furious. Ethan yells, asking how a lowlife like her could dare ruin his mother's party, and he shoves her to the ground. Her precious violin breaks, and her locket snaps open. As the family insults her, calling her a disgusting roach from the gutter, Isabella picks up the broken locket. When she opens it, her face goes pale. Inside is a baby picture of her long-lost daughter. They run outside to find the girl, and Isabella helps her up. As she treats a wound on the girl's wrist, she sees a distinctive burn scar, the same scar her lost daughter had as a child. Now there is no doubt. The girl they've been calling trash is their own flesh and blood. Isabella freezes as she recognizes the scar, the blindness in the same eye, and the song her daughter wrote as a child. She's certain this is the missing heir. Before she can say anything, the girl rushes back to the hospital, where her mother's condition has worsened. Maria is coughing up blood and needs emergency surgery. But the doctor refuses to operate until they pay, leaving the girl desperate and helpless. She begs him, promising she'll find the money. Then a familiar voice tells her to stop begging and beg the newcomer instead. It's Ethan. He smirks and makes her an offer. He'll pay for the entire surgery, but only if she kneels and begs him for it. To save her dying mother, Lily is forced to marry a fool. What she doesn't know is she's about to marry into the richest family in the city, her own. The girl is desperate. Her mother has stomach cancer and needs surgery money, and they have nowhere to turn. The only person who can help is the arrogant rich man she's been feuding with. Ethan offers to pay, but with a cruel condition. She must marry the son of a powerful CEO, a man rumored to be mentally disabled. It's a deal with the devil, but for her mother's life she has no choice. She signs the contract. When her mother finds out, she's furious. She gets out of bed and begs her daughter not to sacrifice her future, even threatening to jump to stop her. Torn between her mother's life and her own freedom, Lily tearfully agrees to the marriage. Days later, she's brought to her new home. As she enters, she's shocked to see the family's other daughter, Chloe, who immediately mocks her as a dirty, blind girl who smells like trash. But when Isabella hears a familiar melody, her eyes widen. It's the song her long-lost daughter wrote years ago. She looks at Lily, then at Chloe, and a terrible suspicion begins to form. She demands to know exactly what Chloe did at the birthday party. The truth is about to come crashing down,